And an embarrassing week where the Lakers got smashed up in Utah, got laughed off the court for losing to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Kyrie Irving comes clean about LeBron? I don't know about you, but I'm ready to react. Thank you for coming through to check out Lakers React, where we react about news, rumors, highlights, and more surrounding the Los Angeles Lakers. My name is Frankie, and I'm joined by my gal, Rochelle.
Hello.
How's it going, lady?
I am good, Frankie, and definitely ready to talk about the Los Angeles Lakers basketball with you tonight, where we are hanging out with the fans online discussing everything purple and gold. Not only do we have that online and bring it to you, but we bring back some of your top comments to share here on this show, strictly dedicated to the purple and gold fans. So, with that said,
let's react. Okay, lady, I've got a good question for you.
All right.
It's a basketball comparison question.
Is it one of those who's the best of all time questions?
Kinda, sorta.
Okay, well, lay it on me.
Well, this one actually came up in a posting from Laker Gang. And on the group on Facebook, they had a question from a man by the name of Ali, or not maybe so much a question, but a statement.
Okay.
So just seeing the reactions, I knew I had to ask you this question. Are you ready?
Will you hurry up?
All right, so if you had to compare ballers and who was the best at the game, would you say that James Harden is a better baller than Kobe Bryant?
Fool, have you lost your mind or bumped your head? I mean, there is no comparison. Hands down, Kobe is a legend. From that killer instinct on the court to not being a crybaby every time somebody touches you and flopping all over the place. Rings.
I knew that would get you going, especially with anybody disrespecting the Black Mamba. Now, as I mentioned before, this question actually came from the Laker Gang Facebook group with a comparison considering that James Harden has recently been on a scoring frenzy from a group member named Yassine posting, starting to think Harden is better than Kobe. How about you?
Well, it sounds like Ali would need to do a little more film study and fact checking if he is moving in that direction. And I'm sure he would change his mind.
Well, I think you're on the same track with other fans who replied.
Right.
Let's check out some of these right now. Checking out comments from Bernard, who said, Harden got to win some rings first.
Come on.
You can score 1 billion points. Rings, titles is what matters. Look at Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, Chris Webber, just to name a few.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about right there. Yes, James Harden may have won the MVP, but we know the real hardware that matters. We need some rings, baby.
You're too crazy for that one. Now, checking out some of the comments from Carmelo, he chimed in saying, no effing way.
Woo.
Shaking my head. Kobe was the effing king. He never gave up, especially in the playoffs, like Harden.
Tell us how you really feel.
Right? And another comment going hard for the Black Mamba came from Jawan saying, delete your whole Facebook and never make one again.
I mean, he told a man to delete his entire Facebook. So I'm with him right there. I feel you.
I don't think Jawan is feeling the Harden comparison either.
Me neither.
Finally sharing another comment from Jason. He is definitely not feeling the Harden Kobe comparison, saying it's blanks like you that make me want to leave this group.
Ooh.
Blank, how old are you? 12?
Ooh, he said 12?
The Laker Gang were definitely not kind on this one, for sure.
Right.
So just in looking at the comparison of James Harden and Kobe Bryant, this may not have been a post that you should have posted in the Laker Gang and maybe kept your feelings in a Houston fan group or something.
Right. JaVale McGee sounds off after that loss to the Jazz. What are your thoughts, Frankie?
I felt his pain. Watching the whole game, The worst thing about that game was it was so slow. It was one of the worst games I've seen this year on the court. The amount of wacky calls, and every time the Lakers would get out on a break, instead of trying to play defense, the Jazz would immediately foul.
Right.
I mean, I get the strategy, but you're dealing with a young team on the road. That may have got the Jazz the win that night, but if that's what they're hanging their hat on to be competitive, being a young team themselves, once they get on the road, they're going to face the same thing, and that won't work.
Right.
But enough about the Jazz. Let's get back to JaVale.
Okay, right. JaVale was definitely not happy, especially after being dumped on by Donovan Mitchell. And that, of course, being laughed at on social media and sports stations everywhere,
Right.
chiming in about, post-game. And when asked why he was so upset, JaVale said, "I'm a shot blocker, so I don't give a blank about getting dunked on. That ain't blank to me, because when I block a dunk, you're like, ooh."
Oh!
It's the exact same reaction, so I don't care. Okay, one thing is for certain. Before you go in on any Laker player, be ready for some backlash online. The reason why I am saying this is because after checking out a posting after the LA Rams defeated the Dallas Cowboys on Saturday night, a video clip was shared online from Bleacher Report with LeBron James in the LA Rams locker room greeting some of the players on his way out.
Yeah.
Now, seeing LeBron in the Rams locker room was a green light for some to already start hating.
Let me guess. Knowing that LeBron is a Dallas Cowboys fan, somebody had to have something to say about him being in the locker room with the Rams, right?
Yes, sir. Like you can see here, we have MSW Williams jumping online saying, if this dude is a Cowboys fan, why is he hanging out with the Rams after last night's game? No loyalty.
Here we go again. With the loyalty quotes, I'm not going to even go there right now with that.
Well, just like you are frustrated with this post, we had other fans chiming in just like this. One of the comments that shed a little light on the reasoning for LeBron being in the LA Rams locker room came from Seaburn, where he said, "Why don't you learn how to read the backstory first before weak trolling attempts? Blank Dallas."
You mean we're not supposed to just hop on and throw out random comments without doing any research in 2019?
Right. Up next, I definitely like this comment coming from Michael, who got in on the conversation saying, so he can't congratulate the winning team for beating the brakes off of his team? I guess y'all just a bunch of sore blank losers, LMAO.
Now, there's an old saying that game recognized game.
Right?
Even though you might not be happy with the outcome, you still have to show respect to the winners.
True that. Now, bringing a little hip-hop twist, we had Crosby in the comments with these words that said, everyone that is a Snoop fan, Snoop changes teams more than Drake. Look, if that ain't the truth, I don't know what is.
Come on now. Y'all got to leave Uncle Snoop alone.
Now, I love me some Snoop. But now this next one actually questioned the loyalty of LA fans in general, with Michael saying he jumped on the Rams like most of LA did. LA was a Raiders town to all of the wagons jumped on the Rams.
That's pretty cold right there.
Yeah, it is. But anyway, LeBron had been seen in the Rams locker room using the restroom earlier in the game. More than likely, that's where he was post-game before exiting for the night. No more, no less. I think people need to chill before making assumptions, though.
Hold on, girl. If it weren't for people making assumptions, we wouldn't have a show.
Oh, you're right. Never mind, my brother. Go ahead and keep the unresearched comments coming. Okay, guys, so up next, this one definitely caught me by surprise with a post-game interview from former Cleveland Cavaliers star and teammate of LeBron James, Kyrie Irving. Now, with Kyrie doing his thing in Boston, His split from LeBron was a very drawn-out saga that ended in a trade, leaving many sports writers with fuel to add to the nobody wants to play with LeBron fire.
That nonsense is so annoying.
And you know what? I totally agree. And in an interesting twist, Kyrie came out with the real about LeBron in post-game comments.
Oh, Lord. Here we go again.
Wait a minute. Give me a second. Check out this comment from Kyrie about LeBron post-game after an amazing performance against the Raptors, where he said, "I've been there in the championship. I've tasted it, but I can't expect that they're going to get it right away either." So it was a big deal for me because I had to call LeBron, and tell him, like, I apologize for being that young player that wanted everything, at his fingertips. And I wanted everything to be at, my threshold. I wanted to be the guy that led us to the championship. I wanted to be the leader. I wanted to be all that. And the responsibility of being the best player in the world and leading a team is something that is not meant for many people.
Interesting. I know that came up post-game, and they've been having some issues with the young guys and Kyrie kind of at odds out there. So that's definitely interesting.
It is. It's interesting for real. But what are your thoughts, Frankie?
Well, this reminds me of a Kevin Hart stand-up where him and his boys chanted, "Everybody wants to be famous, but nobody wants to put the work in." It's easy to want to be the man, but being the man, although it comes with perks, ain't easy.
I hear you. And I can definitely respect Kyrie for swallowing his pride to apologize. But a question that I had for some of our Laker gang people online was, would you be cool with the Lakers chasing Kyrie in the trade market or free agency? With comments like this one coming from Inchy saying, "I love it." Looking at the comments from Brian, he got in on the conversation saying, "Yes, of course." Up next, we had Patrick with saying, "Totally not with it. I'm saying no." So, how are you feeling about it?
Listen, Kyrie is a beast.
Yeah.
But I can't say I'm not with the whole reuniting LeBron and Kyrie and the purple and gold. Now, that's today. Tomorrow I might be with it if we keep losing these games like that.
Right.
But anyway, he's a dynamic scorer, but that is not a direction that beat the Warriors. So why try it in the future? I'm just saying. I mean, right now we got Draymond Green bragging because, of course, you got DeMarcus Cousins. They've got such an all-star squad. And by the way, if y'all don't know, I can't stand Draymond. He reminds me of the little kid in The Christmas Story where he's sitting there bragging on the bully's talent. How about instead of you bragging about everybody's talent and you getting a hot take, you get a hot take for actually dominating in the game, maybe. Anyway, I digress. I'm not with it.
And just in case y'all didn't know or couldn't tell, he does not like Draymond Green, so there you have it.
I don't mind Draymond as a player, but I hate how don't be bragging on somebody else's game. Get out there and get your own. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Do your own thing. Don't be bragging on Steph because Steph caught fire. That wasn't you catching fire. That was Steph. All right, folks. Tonight, we've learned one thing for sure. Don't mess with this lady's Kobe Bryant.
That's right. Don't do it. You better get yourself together, boy.
Anyway, we have reached our time and we are enjoying ourselves hanging out here each week with you. Any final words before we cut out here, lady, till next week?
Yes, of course. I just want to thank everyone for coming through and checking out Lakers React. And don't forget, we wouldn't have a show if it weren't for you, the fans. So feel free to follow us online at Facebook by liking our page at Lakers React.
Like.
We also have social media posts on Instagram and Twitter that you can connect with us, or in groups like the Laker Gang and the Worldwide Laker Gang for Life page on Facebook as well. Also, I want to send a shout out to my guy, Eric Kamen, my girl, Lisa Marie, Zach, Cody Mamba, and the rest of the Worldwide Laker Gang for Life team, including my peeps down there in the Pilipinas.
Laker Gang
on Facebook.
Yeah. Over there in the Philippines.
Yes.
We strong in the Philippines. They be repping
down. As always, it's been a blast, and we'll see you guys next week.